So, welcome again. I mean, it's already Sunday. I mean, I have no idea why time is flying so quickly. I'm not sure whether it's the same or whether it's only for me or whether if it's really for you the same. But I have the impression, hey, I mean, we have already end of May, and I felt like we started the podcast yesterday. Whereas, I mean, this is actually now the third episode of your most favorite podcast, The Business Spirit. And yeah, I mean, my task this week was really focusing on what is coming up in the next phase. Next phase meaning that, yes, I mean, June is for me traditionally the phase where I'm starting to prepare for the last half of the year. And yeah, I'm sorry to say, but we are already almost 6 months into the year 2025. Yeah, and time is flying much quicker, much faster than I personally could have imagined. And I'm not sure about you, but half year time is for me always the time where I reflect also on what has been done in the past and what is about to happen until the end of the year. And this is always a mixed feeling. So therefore, when I'm talking about the wins of this week, I actually need to share something which is at first maybe not a quick win, but the mindset shift, that might be something you could also benefit from. So, what am I talking about? This week, work wise, has been, how shall I put it? I mean, not so intense. It was a lot of reflection, it was a lot of thinking. And I wasn't too visible on social media, I have to say. Not as much as I wanted to in the first place. And this is for me always the time where I need to step into my thinking mode and what I really wanted to have. And yeah, it's not about you need to step back into your visualization, into your vision board any longer, because we both know that at a certain point, at a certain level, I mean, this doesn't count anymore because in a way, we're already living our vision board, I mean, from the emotional side, and we have already tapped into how it feels like operating out of this full potential. Yes, I have not realized everything in the outside world, as you might not have as well, but stepping into a vision board or stepping into the ordinary affirmation stuff is not really working for us. I mean, this is what we were talking about in the first episode already. Nonetheless, I mean, this week felt a little bit off. I was coming out of a phase of a lot of coaching sessions with a lot of clients, and this week was a bit less in that sense. But I'm also preparing. I mean, crossing the line. I mean, a new masterclass or a new free experience, which I have talked about already in the last episode. So this was my week. And still, especially this morning, I mean, the time when I'm recording this, I mean, we do have 2:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. I originally wanted to record this podcast already this morning, and I was sitting at my desk planning the next half of the year, planning when to do which program, also thinking about how to write emails, when to schedule that, and so forth. I was really, again, doing a lot of this strategic work. And although I know that strategy is necessary, I also sometimes have the feeling that I'm doing too much strategy, I'm doing too much thinking. And I'm sure you have the same feeling. Because the more you step into this mode of, okay, what do I have to do to achieve that, is not coming out of this feeling of abundance, of luck, of really, I mean, just easy flowing, getting through it. At the same time, we both know that just following your intuition, like a lot of those spiritual coaches and spiritual healers will teach you, that, I mean, you just have to flow and just have to follow the flow, is also not working either. So I was sitting there this morning and I was on a micro perspective really trying to figure out, okay, what is the brand tone? What is the tone of the emails I wanted to send out? Okay, what is it really what I wanted to transport to you, so that you have the feeling and see the invitation I'm sending out, that I mean you just join me in crossing the line, or all the other upcoming programs. And I can tell you there is a lot of great things coming, as I have done a lot of work. I'm just holding up one piece of paper, so that's it. No, I'm kidding. So, but I mean, this piece of paper here, I mean, it really looks not that much, but it will really be the theme of the end of the year. And yeah, although knowing I needed to do those strategy work, and although I needed to look into the branding style, into the tone of my emails, of my writing, on my contents, on the reels, I still had the feeling underneath that I'm missing something. And maybe you can also revert back to me in one way or another. I mean, either on Spotify or on Instagram and so forth, whether you know this feeling that you are deeply involved in planning, deeply involved in doing this stuff, and you can't find an end. Right? I mean, you set the timer. You set the timer saying, okay, well, I just wanted to work on this for an hour. But once the hour is over, you still find something you want to work on. And you're not really satisfied with what you have achieved so far. And you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. And I need to laugh about this because I know this pattern of mine. In the past, it was the perfectionism. I was really imprisoned by that. I still had the feeling I need to improve stuff. Now I know this is not perfectionism I'm after. It's really that sometimes I'm procrastinating over to really do the next step, to really create facts instead of just planning to do something which might have an impact. And it's so funny. It's so funny because yes, I want to make an impact, and I know I create an impact. And talking to people, and also in my coaching sessions, people are always flashed by my energy, always flashed by the way I'm tackling things. And though I'm sitting here sometimes and I'm overthinking, I'm not doing the work I should do. Yeah. So this is what I was doing not only today, but for a couple of days. Whereas when I did my after lunch walk, which I usually do, I came to realize what I have achieved so far this week, which is brutal, which is more than I have done in a way the last months, because I completely restructured my business. Not that I said, okay, I need to, but I wanted to. I wanted to have it more clearer. And I've created a foundation. I have created something which I will step by step provide you with, and some more information with it. But it's so great. I mean, I'm so happy about it because now everything fits together. I mean, the way I'm teaching, the way I'm coaching, the way I'm thinking, the way I want you to think, everything is fitting together. So I have done already a lot, as well as really creating a completely new brand style for what I call the next level of coaching, of the next level of really being present. So I have done a lot. I have already created a lot, but still this morning I was procrastinating to send out that single email for inviting you to the next free masterclass, crossing the line. And yeah, after my lunch walk, I just sat there. I was smiling. I was laughing about myself and said, "Okay, what the heck? I'm teaching you to step into your full full potential. I'm teaching you and I'm showing you and I want you that you step into the full leadership. And yes, myself, I'm actually sitting here not doing it. And yeah, I mean, all those overthinking mode came, or all those thinking modes or thinking thoughts, whatever you want to call it, I mean, just came into my mind and said, okay, how on earth can I be the person telling you you have to step into becoming a leader? How should I be the person who is ready to teach you, or not to teach you, but to show you and empower you and see that you are the leader, and also give you maybe my thinking, my analysis, my tools, my practices, so that you fully step into your leadership, when I am here, sitting here, procrastinating, not really stepping into my full leadership? How can it be? And sometimes it feels like like that. I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to face it that, yes, what happens if I send out the email and I wouldn't be satisfied with the response? What if I send out the email and nobody signs up for the masterclass? And that was the underlying fear, which of course is always there. And the epiphany came to me, hey, once I send out the email, I don't care. Because I also didn't check about how many people have watched the videos on YouTube. I haven't checked on how many of you have seen the podcast on Spotify, on Apple, and so forth. I didn't check the statics or the statistics at all. And I also didn't check the statistics and how many views and how many likes I received on my last posts and our last reels, and also the stories. Somehow I don't care. And I realized that this morning I was still operating from my old thinking mode, that I fear to step into leadership mode, that I fear that I will be judged, right? Whereas, I mean, I have already how shall I put it? I'm already done with it. So yes, of course, I would like to spread my word, and I would like to have more followers and so forth. But in the past, I didn't check them, so it doesn't frustrate me. I mean, if it's only 10 people or 50 people or 100 people seeing my videos, I don't care, because I know exactly that you, as the listener, as the viewer, know exactly that you are meant when I'm talking to you. And this is all I know, because what I'm sharing is my way of working, and I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this for you, and I'm doing this for us. So to summarize, the biggest win this week, I realized that I don't care any longer whether I will be judged or not. What an epiphany. And it's coming from everything what has happened over the past 1 or 2 months, right? Where I first created 30K and what was it, 11 days? I mean, without pushing, without DMs and so forth, or standing on the stage in Vienna without having prepared a speech tool, or running masterclasses where I have just a rough idea and feeling really into the participants in the masterclass, and then talking about what I call the truth in that moment. So really at that point in time, following my intuition, and at the same time, again, stepping into the leadership and preparing the next half of the year out of this feeling, hey, I mean, this is so great what I'm doing, and you are so great because of what you wanted to achieve. And that's the biggest epiphany I have this year. Not this year, yeah, maybe this year, yeah, but this week. So really to stand in your power without fearing the judgment. And I guess this also translates into into the overall answer I have to give of one of you who have raised the question, okay, how do I actually create customers without pushing? How do I actually create or become magnetic for the people I want to work with? And and yes, I mean this is something which everybody knows. I mean, everybody wants to have customers, especially in the field of coaching, that matches you, that feel sophisticated, that they know that they are responsible for their lives. That yes, I mean, an ideal customer is somebody, I mean, who just pays the price, who's not arguing, who's not asking, and is somebody you don't need to persuade. It's just basically that I'm offering something and you sign up. That basically you have the impression, the feeling, and understanding that I know you, that I know what you're going through, and that you can trust me. And when I'm suggesting or when I'm talking about a new program of mine, you just have this feeling, oh yes, of course I'm in. And this, of course, I'm in is not something I create. It's not something I push from, or I push. There's no internal switch that yes, I'm preparing content, I'm sharing my ideas, I'm sharing my thoughts, and providing value to that, and then I switch into sales mode, and that I'm saying, okay, now I have to put on my sales glasses, and I will have to teach you on how to be a good salesperson. So what are the benefits? That I have to drag you through the pain, that I have to persuade you, and that you have to think about the future. So if you don't buy, then this is the result of it. So I'm not pushing there. And still, I of course want you to buy. I still want you to sign up for Crossing the Line, although this is free of charge. But I of course want you to step further into my world, to understand on how I'm thinking, that you really get the full body yes impression when I'm pitching then the next program, which is coming up end of June, which is Magnetic, where I'm going really deep into how to attract followers, are not followers, raving fans or people in your community, which immediately have a full body yes and have already signed up for a program even before you're mentioning the program. That was the commercial break, I guess. No, but honestly, I mean, the thing is that when we're talking about selling our coaching programs or selling our services, you cannot distinguish between you as a personal brand and then the offer, because you as a personal brand, you are the product. I mean, your vibe, your energy, everything. What are you? What is it? What you are pushing out to the world? That is basically your product. And the actual program you're selling, the masterclass or the experience, that is something like a cream on the top. It's I mean, you're focusing your thoughts on what you have learned yourself in a respective area, like Magnetic, on how to really get customers into your world who are ready to buy. But it's not that you step into an expert mode and say, okay, these are the 5 steps. It's still you who is the product. It's still you and your thinking who is presenting the stuff. And if you're doing the work like I'm doing, that you that you know that everybody you are working with have everything already, so they know how to do the launch, they know how to present their stuff, they know how to make reels and so forth. So it's not the technical part, but it's really way deeper. So what is going on the internal side, and what are the shifts you have to do, how to really become the person in the future. So if you know that this is the internal world, then it becomes obvious that you cannot distinguish between when are you selling and when is it you're providing content, because the sale is just providing the booking link. The sale already happened before that, way before that, because you have to create a surrounding, a space, an open space, like a home or a fireplace, where people are attracted to. And they are attracted to by your presence, by that you are showing up, that you understand the situation, that you're also sharing your emotions, that you're sharing also your experiences, and that you also share your convictions. I mean, that is something that you have to create something where people can attach to. And this is what I call a match, a match to a person. You see, what kind of good example can I have? When if I would be a vegetarian, now I am a vegetarian in a way. Am I? Yes, I'm a vegetarian. I'm not vegan, so I'm eating cheese, but I'm a vegetarian now. And if I would if I would speak on a conference of butchers, I mean, this doesn't really match, does it? So I really have to speak to the people I want to talk to. So I have to talk to people who are really interested in their health, who understood that, I mean, eating meat might be, for whatever reason, not good for your body, is not good, I mean, for the animals as well. So, I mean, you really have to talk to those people, but you do not have to explain the stuff to them. I mean, if you're talking to another vegetarian, you don't have to explain why it's good to be a vegetarian. You don't have to. You talk about different stuff. So that you know exactly that you're talking to the right people, and which is the perfect match. What I do see, what a lot of coaches are actually doing, they wish they had the matching people in their world, while at the same time they're talking to people they need to persuade. So it seems like that they are at a conference of butchers, and they're standing on the stage and talking to them that they should at least eat less meat, or become a vegetarian completely. But this is not your audience, because you don't want to work with somebody who's not a vegetarian at that point in time while talking about the good stuff on being a vegetarian. Because, I mean, there's always a tension there, because everybody can do what they want. On the coaching side, I do see this very, very often, that the coaches are still trying to convince people. And you have to see that the selling is not the pitch. It's not here is a new program, and here is, I'm raising the prices, and now it's time to step in. I mean, this is just marketing tactics, scarcity, and so forth. But I'm still talking to those people who have already been ready to come into my world. I'm still posting, or I'm still sending out the messages in that way, that I'm talking to the people already ready. I don't have to explain what is happening in my world. I just have to lead. I just have to provide them with the feelings, or with the security that they feel understood in my world. I will definitely go much deeper into that, on how to do this on a structural basis. I mean, right now here in the podcast, I mean, this is more on the overview level. There is, of course, a strategy behind this. Yes, of course. But not in the sense of, I need to do this and that, and these are the 5 steps. And then everything works. No, I mean, it has a lot to do with you, with a lot to do with your passion on what you want to achieve, and that you really dive into the understanding of the person you want to talk to. Yeah. And it's funny that most people are actually doing this when they are live in a conference, on a conference. I mean, they know exactly, they see other people, they have the good understanding, hey, man, this is the person I want to talk to, or this is the person, I mean, I have the real feeling of, this might be might be a very nice person to talk to. And we do this automatically. On social media, we can't. We don't. What is missing is really that we're talking into the camera without getting a feedback, without getting a reflection from the mimic of the face and so forth. So we are still waiting for the confirmation from the outside world. And this makes it sometimes so hard. But this is also something we will cover in magnetic anyway. So this, what's happening and what's happening next? I will now finish the podcast here. I think it's a bit shorter than usually, but I have to do a lot of work today to prepare my vacation. In June. June will be vacation week, so we'll be flying to Rhodos. And at the same time, I'm preparing a launch for the Crossing the Line as well as present magnetic. So therefore, I'm preparing that. For me, this means I wish you a great day and see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.